This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Ready, 95, 56. Mike 54, Mike 54. And here we go, watch the pass. Watch the pass.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Ready,
officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Double time. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, Q. Hey, Alpha. Check Mike 45. Get your swerve on. 45.
Now Breeze. He'll let it fly in the direction again. He's got a man complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Tighten up.
To throw is Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Come on, let's go. Under 10, 10, 11. 3.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here's Ginn. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
From midfield, here's Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to. We still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Hey, wahoo!
Throwing again on 2nd down. Ryan looking deep for Julio. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Hey, South! Undercross! Switch! Switch! Check! Gun! 54's Mike.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. A.J. Klein able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now it's Ginn. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Kamara. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Yellow lady.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
He's crashing. Kill. 11.
Breeze now on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 12-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. What's good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Ryan. He'll get this into the hands of Deion Kane. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Second quarter now, Falcon football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
We go 21. Right there, 54, right there. 54, Mike. Bravo. Hey, what's the ball?
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. Second down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in the zone.
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Able to hang on to the ball this time, and in the process picks up the first down.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Ready? Yellow lady. Here we go.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Second and 10.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Hey, Zoo.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
That's a gain of 8.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That's fielded in the end zone. Touchdown, Falcons! He goes 105 yards on the kick return as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Delta. Check 45 to Mike. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch me first.
On second and 9, Breeze. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
The throw from Breeze into the hands of Smith. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
The Saints spent a third-round pick on Traquan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
Check. Go.
Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Ryan nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Ryan. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Breeze, and Thomas has it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Come on, one thing for sure. You know that Michael Thomas is going to be the target on a 3rd down pass, and Drew Brees finds him and keeps this drive moving.
Watch the run. They're running it. You kill. Hey, exit.
Here it comes. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Taken in at the 11. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Jack.
Throwing again. Ryan, he completes it to Julio Jones. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
We're closing in on halftime. That's Julio's first catch of the game. That's got to be a surprise for not just us, but even the defense, who's done a heck of a job taking him away from the Falcons.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. He goes underneath to Freeman, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw again is Ryan. Going right side here, and that's complete. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Ready, blue lady! Blue lady! Check! 54! Watch one! Mike. Hey, Foxtrot! Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball.
On first down, Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Down! Ready! 21! 280! Watch the screen! Pass! 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. He's tired of me. Ready, set!
To throw again on second down. Ryan. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 3rd and short.
It's 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Hey, check! 21! Check out, Hey, Charlie! Ready to go!
Throwing again, Ryan. It's caught, Jones. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
Let's go!
Julio Jones. A gain of 9 yards. First down, Falcons.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
Ryan will throw again. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They come out here in the eye. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll look to run with Freeman. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
That's track. Check 15. Check 15.
Now here's Olison, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Quadri Olison with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys are back within a single score. Point after, right down the middle, and that cuts the lead to 24-17. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
53. Hey, Echo. Hey, easy, tonight.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, Orbit.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
Mike.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And he finds Clark. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
That's good for the Saints.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
Out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
45. Mike, 45.
Hey, Haywood. Here we go.
Throwing now is Breeze. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tyler Jamison hauling it off the edge to sack him.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 38.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 41 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Big stop, G. Big stop. 39.
Freeman again. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now, third and long. Breeze now. Looking deep downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 40 yards.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump-off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Zach, yellow lady. Hey, pick your game up.
Throwing on 2nd down. Breeze gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 27-yard line. Breeze now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Looking for the end zone. Cook's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jared Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Matt Ryan trying to lead the Falcons from behind. Last year in 16 starts, just one fourth-quarter comeback for the QB. Here's Ryan. This complete to Jones. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Hey, 1 set. Check, Mike. 54.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Ryan, that's complete to his receiver, Kane. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Demario Davis, who was the Saints' leading tackler in his first year in New Orleans, in on the stop. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Ryan to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
22. 20. Check out.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
54, south.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Hey, Alpha.
From the shotgun, Ryan looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Ryan. And that is incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
Ready. 95, 56. 95, 56.
Watch 54. It's been a long day for you.
Tonight.
Toss play, Kamara. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, it's Kamara. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. The Saints on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Big hookup there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Come on now, let's go.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now this will be a jet sweep. Here's Thomas with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
At the 6-yard line.
Mike,
Yellow lady.
Mike 54. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go.
12, 12, 12.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal?
0-2, 0-2. 45. Small. Mike, 45. Here we go, here we go.
To throw is Breeze. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his second TD of the game, his sixth on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. What's good on the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now left side on the swing pass, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11.
95-56, 95-56. 54. Let's go, D. Big series right here.
Drew Brees with a kneel down, and that ought to do it.
Breeze on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for New Orleans, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina